for these jobs, 32 to 38 years old. People who could keep the Reagan influence around for a long time. However, one of Mr. Reagan's nominees is in trouble in Washington, in trouble for saying that the NAACP is a pinko organization and that a white civil rights attorney from his home state of Alabama is a disgrace to his race. NBC News national political correspondent Ken Bodie is in our Washington studio this morning with more on that nomination. Morning, Ken.
Morning, Jane. The man who said those things and who would be a federal judge is Jeff Sessions. Part of the story of the struggle over Sessions' nomination takes place right here in Washington, in the Senate. And part takes place in the Black Belt of Alabama, where Sessions was born and where the struggle for black voting rights was waged. Let's take a look at both places.
Mr. Sessions is a throwback to a shameful era, which I know both black and white Americans thought was in our past. It's inconceivable to me that a person of this attitude is qualified to be a U.S. attorney, let alone a United States federal judge.
Jefferson Beauregard Sessions III. He was brought face to face with things he personally had said. For example, that the NAACP and the Civil Liberties Union are un-American organizations.
These comments that you could say about a commie organization or something, I may have said something like that in a general way that probably was wrong.
Also brought face to face with a Justice Department civil rights attorney who knows him well and who was asked, is Sessions a racist?
I don't really know whether he is or he isn't. I probably ought to know, but I don't. I really can't say.
But the would-be judge's biggest problem came in a case he prosecuted and lost, a vote fraud case involving black civil rights leaders in Perry County, Alabama. Defendants in the Perry County case were Albert and Evelyn Turner, political and civil rights leaders for more than 20 years. Albert was an aide to Martin Luther King. Their scrapbook has all the marches.
This is Bloody Sunday. Albert can see, that's him right there.
Albert Turner guided the mules at Dr. King's funeral. The federal government charged the Turners with doctoring absentee ballots, vote fraud, and mail fraud.
My own opinion is that the case was political. I actually don't think Jeff Sessions came in with an ounce of evidence.
Blacks charge harassment by U.S. Attorney Jeff Sessions, noting there was no investigation of white vote fraud. The Justice Department says it had no complaints about white vote fraud. Jack Drake, a Tuscaloosa civil rights attorney, says the feds might have found plenty of white vote fraud had they looked for it.
I've seen letters written by the concerned citizens of Sumter County, for example, saying, we know you don't live here anymore, but we want you to vote here.
The case was tried last summer. Albert and Evelyn Turner were found not guilty. Jeff Sessions declined to talk to NBC News, but his friends and supporters told us he is not a racist, and the Justice Department says Sessions had a good case. Jack Drake disagrees.
I didn't think the government had a case. The impetus of it, I think, was to keep blacks from voting, to intimidate people, and they went right after the leadership that they want to defeat.
Albert Turner does not want Jeff Sessions on the federal bench.
A man like Jeff Sessions will be there for such a long period of time, and I honestly think that he will be in the way of progress in this area for quite a while.
He is, I believe, a disgrace to the Justice Department, and he should withdraw his nomination and resign his position.
The discussion of Jeff Sessions' nomination is not over, but my sense from what I heard in the Senate last week is that if President Reagan really wants Jeff Sessions on the federal bench, he is in for a fight. Jane?
It does sound rough. Thank you, Ken.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.